you to read it because it's always information in there. And I also put a link to it on campus just in case you miss my email and you don't have to search. But please, 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 just mark your calendars every Monday. Be prepared to read the teacher version of the Rampage. And y'all, please don't forward it to parents because sometimes there's in-house stuff. And I heard about it at campus where they sent it to the parents and the parents got mad about a draft or something, I don't know, but don't put us on blast, please. Okay, this is the one that's going to take a little bit of time. So we've kind of redone some things with CIT. So we're starting from scratch, basically. What we did with the CIT committees is we changed them to make sure that they actually reflect our campus improvement plan because the campus improvement committees are supposed to do the work for the campus improvement plan. And what we ran into last year was they weren't lining up. And so we've gotten rid of some of the committees and then we've kind of merged some of them. So I'll tell y'all what they are. But here in a little bit or whenever we get out of here, I'm going to send a link so that you can select 3 choices of what you want your committee to be. We got CKH Process Champions, and here I'll go down and give details about each one of them, and I'm going to be quick. So the CKH Process Champions, basically, if you feel like you're going to be like, you're gung-ho, you're on fire, you want to keep the momentum from everything you learned at CKH, you're shaking hands at the door, which I have to give a shout out to Brooke Russell because I've seen her consistently standing at the door. She even made me shake her hand. I was like, yeah, in front of the kids, let's go, Brooke. And guys, it's not just you taking what you learned. The people that choose to be a CKH Process Champion, there's additional training and support for that group that will be basically helping you go into classes, modeling, and just making sure that we're keeping the process going and helping everybody out. So that's what the CKH Process Champions are. And let me go back. Everything has to do with the 4 plays that I introduced in the spring. And new teachers, I'm sorry, y'all have never seen it, but basically everything we're doing is based off 4 plays. The first one is intentional culture. I promised Terry I would not screw up her 14-year-old child, and I have been doing my very best not to. Guys, we are trying to, make school fun for y'all, fun for the kids, It's like, I don't want to be here if it's going to be whack. No, I want to make it a nice place to be. So that's play number 1. Play number 2 is teaching and learning. That's why we have jobs. We're here to teach and learn. I don't call it curriculum instruction because I just don't like it. Teaching and learning is important. And then 3 is name and need. That's our district's mission. Is that, we know these kids by name and need. And then the 4th one is community partnerships. We got tore up on our safe school survey type stuff and, like all the feedback we get from the parents because they always feel like they're not welcome. And, now, they're going to complain about everything. Let me just put that in the atmosphere. But, there are some areas that we can improve on, and that's definitely one of them. So everything that we're doing is aligning to those things. And we have data to back that stuff up. Now, community partnerships. If you're wanting to help, like I know the diversity committee last year, we kind of merged this together. We did the Day of Unity, and we did the Courtyard Cleanup Day. That was pretty fun. If you have some connections, you want to help get a mentor group going with the girls, because we have a great one going with the guys. If you help the counselors with career day, anything, or look, we can't call them watchdogs, but they're calling them something else. Dads coming in here to help. If you have any connections or a desire to connect with our community, this is your group. Fundamental 5 book study. Guys, we're investing in getting better with instruction. And we're looking for a group of people who's willing to be a part of a book club that'll read the book in advance and then help our committee because our ICs. Michael, he's going to call you. I think my voice is big enough. We have the ICs working on that as well, but it would be great to have a committee so that it's not just the ICs, it's like our book study. I don't want to put all that work on them because I don't think it's just about them. It's about us collectively as a campus learning better instructional practices. So ICs, if you want to be on that, great. If not, it's okay. We can get the information from the club and filter it through the ICs. Okay, future ready learners. That's one of our district ones. And every time people hear future ready, they think about technology. And that's not just the only thing with future ready. When we're talking about future ready, we got to teach these kids to have some grit. and to embrace challenges and to not give up when things get hard. How to collaborate and not cheat, because collaboration and stealing your idea is two different things. How to be innovative and creative, think outside the box. How to effectively communicate in a professional setting. Don't go in there telling your boss, what's up, that kind of thing. And how to contribute and respond appropriately. So if y'all are wanting to help find ways to make sure that on our campus we are future ready, this is your committee. Genius Hour. Guys, we're in these advisories with these clubs, and it would be great to put a group of minds together to come up with good structure for the Genius Hour. If you get on Pinterest, there's a whole bunch of stuff on Genius Hours. I got lost for like hours reading that stuff because it was so cool. And I know I showed at the end of last year the whole little thing about Kane's Arcade, and he was making an arcade out of those boxes and stuff like that. But we'd like to have at least a Genius Hour fair in the spring where the kids that actually have had time to come up with, their project or whatever they're doing in their spare time in advisory, that they can display, kind of like a Shark Tank or something like that. So we're open to ideas. Anybody want to plan and work on creating Genius Hour structures? Mastery Connect, again, you will be trained, but if you are a techie, data, I like to try new stuff and make that talk to eSchool and all that good business. If you are that person, please sign up for the Mastery Connect one. PBIS, guys, I honestly think that committee already has formed. If you want off, you can not select it, I don't know. But PBIS, guys, is the Positive Behavior Intervention System stuff. It's the hallway stuff, like when we're talking about walk to the right and high-fiving and, just celebrating more of what we want to see. The Ram Bucks, we're going to start doing Friday by Day. We got money for that. So if you want to be a part of PBIS and you're not currently, then please select it. And if you're not, if you're on it and you don't want to be, don't select it. And then the whole child committee will work directly with the counselors. That's a kind of twofold committee. We got the Safe Schools where you, talk about lessons and stuff like that. But then they have lessons there. You want to make sure that you address the health and wellness of the overall child. So we also got the health and wellness committee kind of combined with that. I know the nurses normally are part of that. And so is like some coaches and stuff like that. So if you're interested in like helping the kids stay healthy, there you go. So guys, and we're going to put a little bit more structure to kind of what we're getting done in the committees. Each committee will need a full CIT rep, like your leader. That'll be the person that goes to the full meetings and talk about what your committee is doing. We'll need an electronic scribe or note taker to make sure that you can turn in the agendas. And then a photographer or publicity social media person. I can give you access to our Facebook account. We've got to tell our story because the people in the streets, y'all, they tell a different story. Like they don't know the work that we do. Even, I'm telling you, after the worst, crazy, watching them get flipped off at the traffic, kids are high-fiving me saying, this is the first day ever. That red carpet was nice. Just different stuff. The kids were given, my 8th graders who were a hot mess last year, y'all. Like, miss, this school is fun. We haven't had fun before. So, I'm just like, okay. So the work that we're doing, it really, really matters, y'all. It really does. And so we want to tell our story. We want to take pictures of good things going on in classrooms. We want to make sure that we're telling our story from all of our committees too. And then if y'all have dates that y'all need to get on the calendar, there needs to be somebody that'll get with the admin and get them approved because clearly you can't just add stuff, like school-wide stuff, nobody knows about it. And that way we can get out publicity for it. And then there's a plan of work template, and I'll share that with y'all, it's on here. But basically it just kind of keeps track of who's doing what from which committee. And then the CAP, Plan for Learning, that's somebody who's willing to help put what y'all are doing into the campus improvement plan. The document is only as good as what, I can sit up here and lie and I can type up some stuff and say that's what we're doing, but that's not the spirit of what we're doing. So if y'all will just kind of hang with us. So I knew I had to spend a lot of time on CIT because I'm going to send y'all the link. And I'm going to do it this evening. I will send the link. I don't want to send it now because the girls' coaches are still with the kids. And so I want to do it where it's fair. Everybody gets to sign up. So please make sure you sign up. All right. So we discussed calendar invites. A quick blurb on Reach. Guys, please, if y'all are losing sleep about Reach, please don't. And it was not Courtney that, you know, it's like, I don't want to do the draft anymore. You know, we actually had a sit-down conversation because basically y'all did a survey at the end of last year, and you talked about how many days you wanted reach versus how many days you wanted body, right? Well, basically the gist of that is it came out with the data that y'all wanted 3 days of reach. Well, she was drowning. Like when I say drowning, she was drowning. I remember being in the AP office like, good Lord, what are you in there still doing? It was taking about 3 hours on Friday trying to blow stuff up and make it work. And so with the additional day added, that's where we're like, whoa, we got to pull the reins back and figure something out. So we're going to get a group together. It's not going to be just the admin team because this is not something we just want to, you know, this is our school. Hopefully we've been showing that that's the way we operate. And so we're going to pull a group of y'all together so that we can hash out what happens with the kids that were not drafted and how the teams respond and what y'all need from us. I met with Isabel today for about an hour to kind of like see the back end of her form and see how I can help her. So my VLOOKUP is going to get the teams on there. Everybody get excited so we can sort. So we're working on it. Just have patience, guys. I'm telling you, we are working around the clock. But I don't want anybody losing sleep or stressing over reach because it is not that type of party. So are we good? Can we please not stress over that? We'll work it out. And if we fail, guess what? We'll load up and start over again. Okay, this is the link. Now, y'all, if y'all read the Rampage, which I don't know if y'all know it, but I can see how many people read the Rampage. I can. It'll say like 10 views or like 0 views. In the beginning, I was like, oh, this sucks. I spent like 3 hours and nobody read my Rampage. Okay, but no, it got up. So, guys, please, 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 but I just want to make sure, because some people are comfortable coming up to me and be like, Mac, let me tell you what's going on. And some people will text me ugly pictures of corgis. I just don't like dogs, if y'all didn't know, but I have to. Some people will send me memes in the middle of the day with something crazy. So we have different relationships with everybody, but I wanted to make it safe for anybody on this campus. If you are feeling some kind of way and you need to let me know something, you can do it anonymous if you want to, but then it's like, I don't know how to follow up with you. But if it's like, you know, I just want to say something on behalf of a group, I'm checking this weekly. The categories are what's bugging you. Yikes, got a new principal, she might have missed something. Guys, that is so possible. Keep me on track. I might be like, squirrel. If it's something that I'm supposed to be doing and I'm not doing it, I need y'all to tell me. Or we, my team, we need clarity on because we don't understand. And then it even says, you have my, it should say